What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Stocks channel. Today was an absolutely perfect day to be a trader. And the first chart we're looking at today is the NASDAQ 100 triple Qs, and we had that perfect rejection from that resistance. And the first thing I said when the market opened this morning in the Discord server is that I saw into the future, and this is what I saw on the triple Qs today, and posted a giant red bearish engulfing candle for the day because I was very confident with this trade we were likely going to get an extremely bearish rejection from this resistance. And the reason I like this trade so much is because it was very low risk if we were incorrect. And as I always tell you, I love to take trades that I believe have a great probability with very low risk and very high reward. And then as you can see from the next screenshot, this is how we close the day, almost an identical clone of what I posted after the market opened. So it is safe to say we absolutely crushed this market today. The best part about a trade like this is while the market is going lower and we're shorting the market, we are making money and adding value to our portfolio while the market is going lower. And this is why I always remind you that as traders, we couldn't care less if the market is going higher or lower. We want to take the absolute best trade with the lowest risk and the highest reward and the best probability. Now, sometimes with the low risk, we know the probability is low, but it is still worth taking it if the potential reward is high enough. And a trade like this just feels very good because it takes a lot of patience to let these bull trends hit a critical resistance zone before you can get such a good short trade off. But today was definitely one of those days that it felt very good to be a bear with a very low risk entry and a very high quality setup. So keep in mind, if you want those intraday updates and those trade ideas, those are always going to be in my Discord server, and you can find out how to join my Discord server in the link in the description of this video. So going into tomorrow, it will be Jackson Hole. Jerome Powell will be speaking just after the market opens, so without a doubt, it could be a very volatile day. And today could have just been a lot of de-risking before that event. So my rule is anytime you get a bearish engulfing candle, you do not want to continue to short at support, which we did close at support, unless the price action breaks down below today's low. So hear what I just said again. Do not be bearish tomorrow unless we break down below today's low and break down below this support. A lot of you are going to get that wrong if you just assume bearish engulfing candle means you have to be bearish. There were lots of bearish engulfing candles like this one back from July 11 where we went up for 3 more days after the bearish engulfing candle before we broke down below the low and continued that downtrend. Now, another thing to be aware of, that if we do break down below today's low and we do break support, this could be a monster lower high rejection, which could mean we get a very monster move to the downside, and that could mean this is just a counter trend rally within the correction, and the correction is not yet over, and it could continue out into the election. This is extremely easy to trade if you just have a trade plan within this range, which is still the range I gave you last night between 473 and 485. Once we break out of this range, then you are going to get a lot more confident the market is moving for another leg. But do not be surprised if we stay within this range and bounce off support and at least make an attempt to push higher towards 480 before we roll over and break this low and continue lower. Now, if we gap down below this support or we break down below the support during the open market hours, then you should instantly become a lot more bearish because, as I told you, if we break the bottom of the range at 473, it's very likely we are going to at least 465. So do not overcomplicate it. Price does all of the talking. You know exactly how to trade it if we break out of the range. Below 473, we're looking for 465, and above 485, I'm looking for 493. If we don't get the breakout of the range, you better believe I'll be trading the range, which means buying at support and selling at resistance until we break out of the range. Now, trading the range is working very well for day traders, but swing trading, you really need to pick a risk level with a direction and set up the trade plan and let time do the rest of the work. Do not be overthinking your setups. If they're swing trades, time is your ally. If they're day trades, you should be working the ranges and then trade the breakout accordingly. Whether we break the support or the resistance, you should not care because you are a trader that's moving like water. And when you're moving like water, you go wherever the price tells you to go. Break support, you get risk off and you can short. If we break resistance, you get risk on and you go long. Move like water. Do not have a bias. Do not have a care in the world if we go higher or lower. Focus on your trade plan and being on the right side of that move. Jumping over to the S&P 500 SPY ETF, we also closed at the bottom of the range, right there at 556. And as I just told you with the triple Qs, do not blindly be bearish tomorrow unless we break down below the bottom of the range at 556. Below 556, I'm looking for 549 and then a gap fill at 545. And if we break the top of the range above 565, I think we go push for that brand new all-time high between 570 and 580. Move like water. Do not care if we go higher or lower. Let the price do all the talking. But do keep in mind, this is extremely bearish if price continues to see impulsive selling from a double top look. And we know below support, we're at least going to 549 to 545. So keep that in mind. On the Dow Jones, we were down 0.37% today, and as you can see, we are hanging around this resistance that I circled the last couple of nights, and we really need to see the Dow Jones above 412 before it's worth getting bullish, because the risk and reward to go long here just isn't there in my opinion, unless we get the bull breakout above 412. And then above 412, I think we have that brand new all-time high price target at 420. So you can catch an $8 ride if you simply wait for the breakout, and then from here, if we get a rejection, it's very likely we come all the way back down to fill a gap just below 401. So a great risk level will be right there at 407. If we start to break below 407, look for that gap fill just below 401. On the Russell 2000 IWM ETF, we were down 0.88% today, and it does look like we also got a rejection from that resistance just below 217. And if we continue lower and we break down below today's low, or we break that support at 212, we are looking for a gap fill right around 209. If we can't hold 209, if we fill that gap and continue lower, we have that rising 200 daily moving average, which is going to be support right around 200. So very clear range here. Below 217, you could stay risk off. Once we break 217, that's going to be looking bullish for a push into the 220s. On the VIX, we were up 7.87% today, and as I warned, the VIX was very likely going to continue higher because the VIX was rising yesterday with SPY, which told us people were starting to hedge and getting uneasy. And when people are getting uneasy and there's not a lot of buying volume, that means they're willing to sell and they're starting to panic. And that is why we did get such a nice bearish candle today. Now, if we continue lower tomorrow and we break those critical supports that I just got done giving you, expect the VIX to continue to spike even higher as fear continues to flow into this market and we start to see high volume selling. If we don't break support and everything is just fine and the market continues higher, then we'll be expecting the VIX to crush from here and start heading back down towards 13. On Bitcoin, we are currently trading at 60,500. We did not get the bull breakout above the range, so there's really no reason to be bullish until we get the bull breakout. And then above 61,600, I'm looking for that price target at 65,000. As I said last night, though, I'm very concerned here that we got rejected below the 200 daily moving average and we can't get back above it. So getting another rejection here could be a lower low. And if we break the bottom of the range, we're going all the way down towards 53,000. So that's not that bullish looking. That will look like a bearish double top rejection if we break down below the bottom of that range. So just keep that in mind. And that will mean Bitcoin is looking bearish below 57,000. On Nvidia stock, we were down 3.7% today, and we did get a bearish engulfing candle today, and I'll delete my yellow squiggles there. And you can see we did get a bearish engulfing candle, and we did break that support I gave you at 126. And from here, I think it's possible we come all the way back down towards 117 to see if we can find support there. And if we can't find support at 117, we likely come back down towards 109. Now, if we can turn around from here and not break today's low and get back over 126, this could just be another higher low before we continue higher. But keep in mind, we don't have earnings until next week, so a pullback into earnings and then possibly a rally after is a likely scenario. So below 126, keep in mind, it is very likely you should be risk off looking for lower prices. On Tesla stock, we were down 5.65% today, and we came all the way back down to the critical risk level at 211. And it is from here we are going to see if Tesla wants to go higher or lower. Above 211, I still think you can be very bullish in Tesla, but below 211, I think you need to get risk off because this will look like a lower high rejection. And a lower high rejection from here below 211 could go all the way down into the 170s and 160s. If we hold 211 and start to bounce and we could break the high at 225, then we're looking for 230 and then 245. On Apple stock, we were down 0.83% today, and we did break down below the 5 EMA with a bearish engulfing candle, so it is possible we're going in for that higher low pullback scenario right around 218 before we go to 232. If we get back down to this rising 20 daily moving average and find support, that could still be very bullish for another leg higher, so keep that in mind. But if we can't hold support at 218, that will look like a bearish breakdown. And then finally, let's look at the financial sector very quickly because it did break out and close at another brand new all-time high today. So this is obviously a bullish indication when the financials are looking healthy. but this could change in the flash of an eye. If we reject, we still do have a gap down there at 43. So you can stay bull above 43.86, but if we break below that, keep in mind we do have a gap down here at 43.13. So jumping back over to the S&P 500, tomorrow should be very exciting. Hopefully we get plenty of volatility and plenty of good day trades. But if we don't break down below today's low, keep in mind the bearish engulfing candle is not confirmed until price confirms it, which means we need to break down below support. Do not fall for any bear traps. If we don't break support, it's possible the bulls continue to push higher. So move like water. Do not care if we go higher or lower. Let the price do all the talking. You have the very clear levels within the range. Now all you need to do is trade the range and have patience and wait for the breakout and have a plan ready if we break to the bull side or the bear side. Don't care if we get one or the other, simply be prepared for both of them. Let the price action do all the talking, manage risk around the critical risk levels, and continue to absolutely crush this market. If you want to come crush this market with me and get access to all of my intraday updates, my technical analysis, and my trade ideas, then you need to join the Stock Channel Discord server, and you can find out how to join my Discord server by clicking on the link in the description of this video. So thank you for watching, everybody. I hope you're crushing this market, and as always, I will see you in the next episode.